Hi, welcome to a week in my life as an artist and business owner. I'm Vanessa. Welcome. This week is a busy one, an exciting one, but yes, definitely a busy one. So I'm starting off the week by heading to the site of one of my current murals. Now, sometimes when I do a mural, and actually most time, I will just be on site for 4 days straight and just get it done. But for this one, it's an interesting piece because it's been commissioned by the National Football Museum. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to receive this commission. And then what was extra exciting about it is that we had to pick a sporting hero. And when I visited the exhibition, I realised that it's a football museum, that a lot of the portraits and artworks that have been done of the sporting heroes or the football sporting heroes were all of male footballers. And I even asked them when I walked around, I was like, is there a reason there's no female footballers on display? I thought, quite innocently, I literally thought maybe this was like one gallery was dedicated to the male footballers and another gallery was going to be dedicated to the female footballers, rightly or wrongly. That's what I thought. But when I asked the curators, they were mortified as they hadn't even realised that there were women represented, but there weren't any actual portraits of women in this exhibition. So I was like, well, I am happy to remedy that. Now, I have always loved this building. When it was first built, it was Urbis. It was called Urbis, Urbis, and it was a museum of urban art. But now it is the National Football Museum. This lift is actually called the Inclinator. How great is that? The Inclinator, I guess because it goes on an incline. So my portrait is of Enola Eluko. I wanted most definitely to paint a female sporting hero or a female football hero. And I knew I wanted to paint a woman of colour. And I was like, let me start my research. So I found some absolutely incredible women. There was Emma Clark as well, cited to be the first black female footballer. But then I came across Enola Eluko. Now, Enola Eni Eluko MBE is a British football executive, a football broadcaster, and a former professional football player who played as a winger and striker for her country and for her Premiership team. So, this was great. I love research, and I just went on a mission to find out all about her achievements. And the way I really connected with her story, her life, her journey was some of the ways that she has really encountered a lot of prejudice and racism. And the way in which she has worked so hard for her achievements. And even with all her achievements, people still don't want to credit her with everything she has actually achieved. I can connect with that. It's frustrating. But to see how another woman of colour has actually overcome that was somehow really quite encouraging. I wouldn't want that for her. I wouldn't want that for anyone. But it was encouraging to see just how incredibly she has conquered all of the barriers that she has faced. So that was the end of day 2. And I'll be back to finish it off in a couple of weeks. This is a new day and I'm off to Kent. The drive to Kent is absolutely epic, but one of my favourite parts is this, going over the Queen Elizabeth Bridge, the QE Bridge, which is part of the Dartford Crossing. When I get to my location, I am normally exhausted from the 6-hour drive. And this time it was actually 7 hours. It took me 7 hours. I was exhausted. So I decided to relax with some Lego. Seriously, it was so relaxing. I had to make myself put it away and actually get some sleep. This was a new day and possibly Wednesday or Thursday. In any case, it was time to head back to Manchester for a really exciting event. But first, there is always time for hot Earl Grey tea with honey. Tonight was Lightwaves, and I have been invited to the VIP launch event. After all the speeches, we headed out to enjoy the light art installations. And this photographer even managed to capture some of our enjoyment as we gazed in awe at one of the installations. I love it. And then there was this. Lightwaves is a festival and celebration of light artworks, illuminated artworks. It's been going for many years now, and honestly, this was such a lovely evening. Today we are prepping the studio, but not cleaning this time. This time it's all about moving and arranging furniture, borrowing chairs, arranging benches, all to get ready for the Lightwaves Artist Talks, which are going to be taking place in my studio throughout the festival. This is the day of the Artist Talks. Join me as I get everything ready before everyone arrives. Oh my goodness, that was actually incredible. So it's quite chilly, so I'm like this now. I'm like this in my cardigan because it's quite chilly, but you can probably hear all of the noise still going on outside. It has been a busy, buzzy day. Makers markets, football, another makers market, the artist talk, everything. So yeah, so now the space is empty and now I'm a bit chilly, probably because I need food. So I'm kind of like snuggling up in this. Thanks, Mom, for this amazing cardigan, by the way. I love it. It lives in the studio. So yeah, as I said, I've always loved Lightwaves as a festival. Yeah, and light art is something that I love and find really magical and mesmerizing. And some of the pieces at this year's festival, well, all of the pieces at this year's festival, I have my favorites, obviously, but all of the pieces at this year's festival are really intriguing. One of my favorites is an incredible projection, but it's done on water. I'll have to show you, but it's amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing. So let me just not digress quite so much and just talk about today. So it was the artist talks here, met up with friends, people I've worked with who became friends, and yeah, shout out Natalie. It was great to see you again. And I'm just gonna put this in here because Natalie will know what I'm on about. We basically made this in a very few, 5 minutes for a children's art series that we filmed together. So Natalie's a video producer and I was presenting. And it was just really funny. So when she walked in the space today, because she was actually filming today's, I can tell I'm all over the place with this, but please follow me. She was filming today's event, the artist talk for Keys Culture. And when she came in, I was like, close your eyes. And she was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then I presented her with this hand. Yeah, it was basically a set prop. So when you make all the stuff on set, like at the end of it, when you do all the makes, it can just get like thrown away or donated. But I often keep a lot of the artworks, and I definitely was keeping this because I actually couldn't believe that I was required to make a hand on screen with very little practice. I had not done it for ages, if ever. And Natalie had figured it out beforehand. Yeah, but it was great. She's ace. So Natalie was actually filming the artist talks for Keys Culture tonight. So when she walked in, it was an absolutely wonderful reunion. So that was great. The artist talks themselves were incredible. Very, very, very insightful and very, very honest. They were great, and it was hosted so well by Danny. So it was Lazarian, Liam Hopkins, Geica, and 30-Pound Gentleman, which is Danny. He was presenting and hosting, and it was really well attended. Lots of interest from people passing by, and I just love seeing the studio activated in that way. That was one of the visions for the space. A space to create and connect, a space for creative events, for creative people of every kind, whether they are professional creatives, whether they're hobbyists, producers, writers, whatever it may be, to be able to be together, a space where that can happen. It gives me so much joy. And people really enjoyed being in the space. They felt warmed by the space. They felt welcomed. And that makes me very, very happy. So it was wonderful. Also, lots of trade sent across the way and around to the other independent businesses. The coffee did a roaring trade across the way because I was like, support independence. Go get your coffee. I still got this. Go get your coffee and teas from across there. So it was awesome. So now, I could tidy away right now. Not gonna lie, I'm probably not gonna reset the space just yet. Moreover, I think it's quite nice, again, before I reset it, exactly how it was before, the same configuration before, I quite like seeing it out of its regular configuration, because then I can decide when putting it back together if I want to put it back together in the same way. So I'm going to pause. That sounds like an excuse, but it kind of is. And it kind of isn't. So I'm going to leave it exactly as it is now. Think about how I want to reconfigure the space. Definitely tidy away some of the litter. Shout out to Gina for coming in clutch. I should stop this. Coming in clutch with an extra chair at the last minute. I bought 2 swanky new chairs for the space for such things like this, for talks and whatnot. And I'm going to stop rambling now because I do need to throw away the litter and maybe make a hot drink for myself as I do, and make one more post on Instagram about Kim's mushrooms, her mushroom things. Shall I get one? Let me get one. I feel like I showed this to you last time as well, but Kim's mushrooms here, they were a real hit. I had so many before, and people have been loving them so much, wanting to buy them. I've gifted them to people, but they are a hit. So why did I tell you that? Yes, that's it. I need to make the post about Kim's mushrooms and how much of a hit they were, and people absolutely love them. So no more procrastinating now. I'm going to put these down. I'm going to pack away the rubbish, make myself a hot drink whilst I do that, and then I will catch you in the next one, or in another week, or in another studio vlog. I don't know. I'll see you soon.